Hello, Lakota families. I'm SBN reporter Nicco Morello, and we're here today at the 2019 Spark Candidate Night.
There needs to be parent involvement with this issue, and to take that away from the parents is irresponsible. And so, if it came out, to answer your question exactly, if it came out, the policy came out and presented to the board, and I sit on that board, I would absolutely, again, vote no. Now, if there was policy that came out that involved the parents, the administration, and the teachers, and that specific child, and how to handle that situation on a one-on-one basis, absolutely for it. Because there's no place in our district for bullying. There's no place at all for any of that type of behavior.
But I'm going to tell you, sooner or later, you're going to have to address this issue. You don't know all of the transgender kids in this district. You do not know all the LGBTQ kids in this district. For whatever reason, most of them will reach out to me whenever there's a problem. And I will be there. I will make sure every kid is safe. I do not care what anybody else says or tries to stop me. Every kid should be safe in this district.
So what did you think of tonight's candidate night?
I thought it was a great candidates night. I was impressed with you guys. I was impressed with everything that you guys did, your research on everything. However, I'm afraid that the way they were answering them, they didn't put people behind those numbers. And that's one of the things that bothers me the most is that, we have all this data in school and tons of data. And usually data is used to drive performance, but you need to let people know those folks behind that data. The kids that are coming in, the kids that are left behind, the kids that are achieving high. So that's one of the things that I wish we had done a little bit better at, though.
So what do you think of your opponent's performances tonight?
Well, I think they did a great job. It was very civil, and I think that's one of the things I like about the school board. There's no real partisan politicking or anything like that. I don't ever get any endorsements, whether Democrat or Republican. I think it should be straight, just nonpartisan. If anybody asks me about it, I won't take it. And that's the way it should be, grassroots. And I think they answered them very well. I think the questions were very well answered.
So you stressed a lot of inclusion and safety. Is there any exact policy that you would put in place if you were elected?
The gender policy, baby, I think, I know it's going into executive guidelines, and here's my problem with that. When I was looking at putting the gender policy into policy, I hadn't talked to a number of the teachers that were already doing things with the gender kids. And that was one of my problems and everything, because they called me and said, Ray, we're already doing these things right here. So that made me back up and say, okay, maybe administrative guidelines is the way to go on that. But they have to feel safe. They have to feel that they are human. They have to feel that they have a future ahead of them. With just so many kids that are transgender, that are committing suicide, I just can't have that on my watch. I can't have it on my heart. And if they call, if there's for whatever reason, they do find me and say, Mr. Murray, or the parent will say, can you come and talk to my child? I'll go. Even though I'm not on the school board, I'll go. And if there's an opportunity where I can shadow the child to school, if they're afraid to go, I'll go with them. And that's just me, I don't ever want anybody to be mistreated, so.
So have you talked to any teachers since then?
I have, and I've talked to a couple of the teachers, and they are the ones, like Susanna Davis told me, and even Elgin Carr told me that I like what you're doing, but the teachers are doing a good job of protecting these kids, and I don't want you to out them by having a transgender bathroom or something like that, So he was worried and she was worried that I would do something that may out them and put them in further danger. So the conversation has to be, this is what I've heard. I've been down at Children's Hospital. I've talked to all of the kids, and I want to express their concerns. So how do we handle it with the teachers? and then we'll see what we come up with. I think that's the best route to go. I kind of went on my own the last time. It's like a bull in the china shop, but that's not the way to do it, though.
Our superintendent has been active on a committee in Columbus. He's actually stated that he's probably not made some friends because he's been pretty vocal on how he feels on this particular topic, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that we have a superintendent and a treasurer that does invest the time and has the political clout to be able to be heard in Columbus on this particular topic. Again, how can any organization be effective when your target of what you're aiming for is continually moved? We adjust the curriculum, we adjust the offerings, we adjust what we're trying to do, and as soon as we move that target to where we think it's supposed to be, they change it yet again. So you're always shooting off course. I think that the state is falling behind in what they're measuring versus what our community, our parents, and even now the state is telling us they want. They're putting now social emotional learning standards, they're changing the focus, but yet what they're still measuring when they're telling us be more career focused, don't just send kids to college, they're still measuring based on those old rubrics instead of moving the direction that we all need to move in order to keep up with the ever-changing technology and ever-changing world these kids are going to be operating in.
We've done many things since we passed our levy back in 2013. We put secure entrances on the building. We put a Raptor system in, which is a visitor management system allowing us to rapidly identify people trying to enter the building, make sure that it's the good guys coming in. We have increased our number of school resource officers across the district, and we continue to work toward other issues that not necessarily going to be talked about in a public setting, but we do have regular safety and security meetings, and I imagine we're going to continue to talk about those issues as we go along.
What did you think of tonight's candidate night?
It's always a great opportunity to talk to our students and to find out what they're thinking about, what's sitting on their minds. So it was a great experience.
So what did you think of your opponents' performances tonight?
I believe everybody here is truly concerned about our students and wants the best thing for them.
So going into your fourth term, if you do get elected, what are you looking to further progress or add? Like policy-wise? Is there anything in particular?
So I have, over the course of my 12 years now, rewritten 2 schools worth of policy. So I feel like policy it's kind of an organic piece. It continues to grow and to evolve. And again, it sets the standards for what the district needs to be doing and how it needs to be done. I don't necessarily want to change any policies per se. I want to continue to be responsive to our students' needs, to our taxpayers' needs, and making sure that you all get a terrific education in a cost-effective way.
What Lakota issues are you specifically concerned about that you believe need to be addressed in this next update?
Well, I do like hearing about security, about the budget, trying to prevent another levy. Another thing I was interested in is offering more CCP classes on campus, so I was glad they addressed that tonight too.
And for you as well?
I'm not sure what I was most interested in hearing about. I was in the building somewhat for the last 3 years, so like Kathy said, the security is always interesting to hear about.
I think, Nicco, that all 4 candidates have their own strengths, and I like that each one of them had a student focus in most of their answers. I think if they keep the students the main thing, then that's going to make them successful if they win election.
Is there any issue that you would like to see any of those candidates take care of if they get elected?
I thought all the 6 or 7 questions were pretty good. I didn't know what the questions were obviously ahead of time, but I could tell that a lot of thought went into it from the student perspective and the student side of things. But no, I think they were really good.